So this is the steering rack, and we have all these new parts from 914 Rubber. We got the boots, and we're going to be changing them to turbo tie rods. So instead of these janky, crusty looking things, they're going to be turbo tied. And let's see, we got the steering coupler, aka the hockey puck. And why did I say it like that? Hockey puck. And then we have all the hardware here, which is going to replace this. Turn it from a stiff old piece of rubber to a brand new looking thing. So I'm going to measure this right now, so that way I have the length. Okay, we got that one. Now it is time to pop off this boot, but in order to pop off this boot, I need to unscrew this. And it was important that I measured that because that is what will help me get about the right size for when I do put on the turbo tie rod, so that way I can at least drive it to the alignment shop to get it aligned. It's just not exact, but get it close enough. So I've been watching Ian Carr's video on this whole thing because he knows what's happening. So I just want to make sure, he said be very, very careful when popping this off. I'm not really concerned with damaging this boot because I have replacements, but I still don't want to damage the spring. Why is it not coming off? I don't want to break it, but come on. There we go. Finally. Okay, that one is not the important one. This one is the important one. So this is the one I want to really make sure because... Oops. Because this is what's going to be keeping on this side of the rod. This one is too small for this bad boy. Okay, so it's important that we're turning it to the turbo tie rod because these right here, as you can see, are rubber. So there's a lot more play in that rather than this being like a socket. So it's solid, it's going to be tight, it's going to have nice turning. So it's going to feel like it's on rails. It's going to be super responsive and there's not going to be much play, or so I've heard. Okay, I switched to plastic just to not really damage anything. I'm not going to be using these things again, but still, it's good practice not to. Okay. Unique problems require unique solutions. My vise only grips between these two pieces, and I put this in here like a shim. The popsicle sticks are to keep it elevated because, as you can see, the clamper, what is this? The vise only has that little bit that clamp that actually does the clamping job. So I have to unscrew this piece. This piece unscrews, but not with much ease. So it just needed a monkey wrench. I was on 914 World and I was looking at it, and this guy was like, oh, just use a pipe wrench. That's what I did. Ugh! My dad may have cracked it for me, but I cracked it before him. So this part of the rack is already in the vise, so I'm just going to put on this bad boy, the turbo tie, and make sure I have the spacer in there, and just put it in. And we got this bad spanner boy, and we had to slice it down a little bit. It said it was the right size, but it was just a little bit too tight. But we sliced it down, fits perfectly. So let's do this. So now it's time to put some Loctite on those threads, so that way they ain't going nowhere while I'm driving. Oh, I think that's tight. This is a special turbo wrench. This is a special wrench that's for the turbo tie rod because, look, she fits through the Paris Brandy door. That's what's happening here. Super skinny. Now it's time to put on the boot. You have to take the ball joint off because the boot won't fit. Which way is open? That way is open. Because the boot won't fit over the ball joint. Actually, I want to give you guys a size comparison on these boots. So this is the old boot and this is the new boot. We almost didn't know what these were for when we opened them because they don't look anything like it, but it's because you replaced it with the turbo tie rod, which is like a different contraption looking thing. Here we go, okay. Does it have to fit? Okay, boot is on. Now let's guide the spring over the boots. Very careful. Okay, that spring is on, looking good. So now it's time to, let's see, squeeze this bad boy over. So you might need another set of hands here is the problem. You gotta like pry it up. Ooh, I don't want to break it. I don't want to break it. That looks good, right? Yeah, that's good. I had to use the power of Dad to get this one on. That means it's real tight. But we finally got it on. All these tools discarded over there trying to get this thing on. But it's okay. Time to zip tie it. The springs are too big anymore. Next side. So I'm going to put the other turbo tie rod on the other side. So I'm going to clamp it again. So repeat the process for the other side, and here I'm just speeding up my work. But things definitely seem to go together a bit smoother and faster the second time around. So I'm just eyeballing this right now. I need to be able to drive it to the alignment shop to have it actually fine-tuned, but I need to be somewhat safe to get there. That's 43 1/8. Let's tighten this set nuts. Okay, so I got the turbo tie rods on, which was the hard part, let's hope. And now it's hockey time. Okay, so there's tabs over here, safety tabs, so that way your steering wheel doesn't fall off, or your steering coupler. But right now we're taking that off, so I'm bending those tabs back enough so I can get a socket on these bad boys. I'm going to replace this tab as well, so it's not a huge deal here. That should be enough to get a socket on it. Ugh. Ooh, it slid right off. I shouldn't have taken that one off, huh? Okay. Ooh. Hockey puck off. This is the old hockey puck. Look, you can see my watch tan. I was just studying abroad in Portugal for a bit, so we got those beach tan lines, huh? Okay. Oh, this is the new hockey puck. This is the old hockey puck. Okay, you can't really see, like, obviously this one looks nicer and cleaner, but this one, it even feels better. Like, it feels solid. We're gonna drop them in. So we have this torque wrench that I did not know we had this torque wrench, but it's set to 18 foot-pounds, which is what this is getting torqued to. Wait, yeah, that fits. On. Listen for the click. Okay, so now I am wrapping it around the bolts now that I have the new hockey puck on and the new hardware. Flipping this over, gonna bolt in the other side. Let's do this thing. So first I gotta slide this bad boy in. Okay, now we turn that to the side. So you drop in the spacers, and then I'm going to twist this on top of the spacers. One bolt in, then the other bolt, okay? Okay, so now we're going to put the rack back into the vise in order to screw the rest of the hockey puck and steering coupler on. I knew it. I'm just cleaning it up, and then it's time for dinner. Time to torque it to 18 foot-pounds once again, just like the bottom pieces. That was it. 18 foot-pounds. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. That feels so much better than before. Like, it's like tighter. And even, I haven't even been able to feel the, not that I really have much to compare it to, but I haven't been able to feel these guys. But even what we just did there already feels better. Oh, right. I have to drift this back in. Forgot about that bit. Tabs are folded over, hammered in. They're not going anywhere. Alrighty, look at that. Steering rack complete. I know I have abs from it because that was like crazy. That was a workout. Okay, so now with the new turbo tie rods and steering coupler, aka hockey puck, all this super tight. It's going to be super responsive when I drive it. So, for all your 914 needs, check out 914 Rubber. More great stuff like this. Turbo tie rods. Oh yeah.